Well, here we are, my friends, for the second part of the Battle of Fredericksburg, and oh my god, does it look like it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Let's get started. Alright, guys, so we've got to capture Meryes Heights, and I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing that correctly, but obviously we've got a tremendous amount of reinforcements here, but we've also got a lot of units that were damaged in the last attack, or possibly this attack. Now, this is the part in Gods and Generals, for those of you that have seen the movie, where essentially, oh my goodness, we got so many men we can barely move them, where essentially the Irish Brigade was forced to fight the Irish Brigade. Are we going to have to move these guys one by one? Is that possible? I guess it is. I'm going to go ahead and grab these guys. And basically what happened was the Irish Brigade here had to fire upon the Union's Irish Brigade, which caused quite a bit of conundrum. But this is really the stone wall where a lot of Union men fell. I mean, just imagine trying to attack a fortified position. A fortified position, mind you, with essentially, you know, just out in the open, a bunch of troops, and try to make it count. So clearly all of these guys that are moving forward, Zook, Caldwell, the rest of them, they are taking a serious risk here, and quite a serious bit of damage is going to be given unto them, I'm almost certain. We're going to start moving the reinforcements across the pontoon bridges as well. I think it's probably in our best interest to get these guys over there as soon as possible, so I'm going to grab a bunch of them here, and I am going to start moving them across. So far, we are taking a lot of fire, for sure, but consider the fact that we have a lot of men. So we won the first part of the Battle of Fredericksburg, but I'm not so sure we can win the second part of the Battle of Fredericksburg. So here we go, guys. We're going to move forward on the stone wall. The Confederates are almost certainly going to be behind it, and if they're not behind it, if they're not behind this first stone wall, then I'm going to try to take position myself behind this first stone wall. So as you can see, we're already being flanked by fire from the enemy, doing everything I can to move these boys up in a timely fashion so that they can engage the enemy, of course. But this could be an exercise in futility. We really have to get up there quickly, and sure enough, we got the first Confederates at the stone wall. Look at that, rear flanked. We're already getting shot down. So I'm going to try to get Nagel over here, and I'm going to try to get Ferrero to start firing. They're going to be the first on the line, and for those of you that have not seen this actual battle in Gods and Generals, it's one of the few parts of the film that I highly recommend watching. What's happening here is exactly what happens during the battle, and that is that we're attacking a fortified position. The Confederates are in a very good defensive position, and we need to break those lines with little to no men, essentially. Well, little to no cover, essentially. So I'm going to move this general forward, and I'm going to definitely try a total charge. I don't see any other way to break this line, so I'm going to grab some of these guys, and we're going to charge right into Kershaw. We're going to take Hall. We're going to charge right into Kershaw once again. Kimball is routing, and so I think this is going to be the only way to break the line here at Meryes Heights. We've got a little bit of a glitch here, not too big of an issue. And I'm going to grab these two guys, Hawkins and Harland, and we're going to charge into Cook. Come on, Nagel. We need you to charge, son, not to hang back. Definitely looks like Ferrero is not interested in continuing that charge, so he's going to pull back, of course. We've got Couch here trying to give this guy some morale so that they can actually push forward, but it doesn't look like he's too into it either. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Hall. Hall is not going to charge, and I think it's because of a lack of morale. You guys can just see the morale is dropping so quickly amongst these men because of the situation they find themselves in that we may be forced, just like the real Battle of Fredericksburg, to deal with essentially just basically firing at the enemy and hoping for the best, which is not the greatest situation, as you could all imagine. We're going to grab some more men here. They're on their way. Brigadier General Alfred Sully is killed. There we go. We've lost a Brigadier General already. The Confederates are repulsing all of our charges and repulsing them vehemently, I must say. Over here, another hit. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, boys. We're coming forward with the reinforcements, but I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. I'm going to grab this large group of men and strike out into this area here. It looks like over here on the enemy's right flank, they managed to stop us. We've still got a few boys over here firing at the enemy, which, God bless them. I mean, they're definitely doing some damage to Kershaw's men, but just look at all the dead Federals right there. I mean, we've lost so many men already, and the battle has only just begun. I mean, this is not an easy battle by any means. This might be the toughest battle for the Union, despite the massive amount of men. So we're going to move Couch back over there. I don't want him getting shot. Stoneman is going to have to do his job, but you could just see the first line there Federals. I almost wish I were playing the Confederates here because their advantage is dramatic. So I'm actually going to just move these guys back here. I'm not going to immediately attack. With these guys, I am going to immediately attack, and we're going to keep putting the pain on Kershaw and putting the pain on Cobb if we can. Just trying to break those lines, and hopefully that works out. Of course, if I can, I will charge. In fact, we might be able to charge on Cook. I'm going to bring Harland up. If we can break through a portion of the enemy's barrier here, well, who knows what could happen. So I'm going to go for it. Go for a charge. Come on, boys. Barry, you better not stop charging. I swear I will be very upset with you. Here we go. Ward breaking through. Where is he breaking through? We're going to get Schweitzer. Schweitzer's going to charge on Cook, too. Here we go, guys. Cook is getting hit hard with Ward and Schweitzer. I'm going to just try to overload this area with our men. We brought some cannons forward. Those cannons are going to be firing directly at Kershaw. I could also target the enemy cannons, which is probably not a bad idea. And let's get Robinson. And let's get Ferrero to charge here on Kershaw. I'm going to keep Stoneman back here because I want him to give as much moral support to these men as possible. Keep on moving, men. You can break this line. You can be done. Well, I'm not so sure, but we'll see. So we're breaking through Cook here, and it does look like, yeah, it looks like the enemy is continuing to repulse our attacks pretty significantly. A lot of our men are already exhausted, having to climb over the stone wall, obviously, and try and change history. And it looks like they've already routed one of our men. We're going to bring Barnes in. Barnes is going to charge. We're going to bring Harlan in. Harlan is going to charge as well. And I'm also going to bring up, so these are the reinforcements. Well, not the reinforcements, but this is the area that I essentially kept back here because I want to attack all at once. So I'm going to grab these boys. And we're going to move up right on the enemy again. Right back to the same old mess. Keep on moving with Harlan. It looks like he might be trying to fire, although I don't know if you should fire into groups of your own men. I'm sure that's not a good idea. Nonetheless, we're going to take Harlan. We're going to try to get past the enemy here. I think you guys can see, well, some of you can see what I'm trying to do is just bypass those enemy lines, even if it means being on the bottom of this hill. I think it's probably going to be worth it. So here we go, Harland. Come on, Harland. And Cook is doing fine. I mean, he is really managing to hold back our attacks. I think I'm just going to get Harland into firing position. All right, there we go. Carr is already shooting at Kershaw. We're going to get Petite, or Pettit. He probably wouldn't like to be called Petite, I would say. And we're going to go ahead and, yeah, that's not going to work. No way. So I'm thinking our only bet is going to be to try and shoot the enemy enough to get him to fall back. And I don't see that happening. I'm sure y'all don't either. So here we go. Cook is actually kind of bringing himself out of the barrier there, out of the defensive line. And we're getting some good shots on Cook. That's a really good shot. So it looks like Cook is routing, guys. This is our chance. This is our opportunity. We've got to keep pushing forward. So I'm going to grab all these guys, and we are going to push over here. I don't give a damn if we have to climb a hill. I couldn't care less if we have to climb a hill filled with sharp stones without any shoes. At this point, this is our only chance. This really is our only chance to take the advantage here and possibly win the battle. Lieutenant Colonel Buchanan is wounded. We don't have to worry about that. Let's fire at Longstreet. But I'm going to get Cook over here. Stoneman, obviously, Harlan is over here also. And we're just going to try to hit the enemy on the flank. So I'm going to get Hall past the enemy. And I'm sure the enemy is actually panicking a little bit right now, because this puts us in such a position that we could try and capture Meryes Heights by hitting them from the flank. So we're going to go ahead and move. I'm going to make sure that Hall is first past the line before he turns to Kershaw and starts firing. And then I'm going to set him up like that. I think you guys can see the position I'm going for, essentially. Get Warren over here. Heartland. Bring him over here, too. Come on, Hall. Oh, boy. He's already having trouble. I might just fire on Kershaw with some of these units head-on, just for them to focus fire on the units. And we were warned at the beginning of this battle. No, I warned you guys, too, that this is a battle where you lose a lot of men, put quite simply. A lot of Federals fell on this battle. In fact, if somebody wants to give exact stats, please feel free. I'm going to grab Butterfield and the rest of these guys. I was going to save them for minute 1, but I'm pretty sure that it's not going to make a damn bit of difference. We're going to move them forward. Okay, here we go, boys. This is what I'm talking about. Now we're hitting the enemy's artillery. We've routed cuts. We just got to keep moving forward with the rest of our men. Move forward with Ward. And essentially try to exploit this break in the enemy line. I think we're done in terms of charges. We don't need to do any more charges. Now we just need to fire at the enemy and try and crush them. Obviously break these lines as much and as quickly as possible. But firing at Pendleton, Longstreet, I mean, we've got an open shot at a lot of generals here. We've also got some pretty decent cover. And amazingly, or incredibly, I should say, the Confederates haven't even put anyone to defend this hill, which I think is a huge tactical error. You know, they should at least have 1 or 2 brigades kind of waiting here for us, just in case we break through, although I guess they just didn't anticipate that happening. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to hope that Warren gets a shot at Longstreet, get him off the battlefield, and there we go. Longstreet is off the battlefield. It's a shame he isn't killed, but we can all imagine what would happen if you took a direct shot from a brigade like that on a horse. You're probably not going to make it out alive. So here we go, guys. This is really cool. We're breaking through this side. No, I don't want to cross the damn river. And at this point, we have got to try and break it and make it through to Meryes Heights. So I'm just going to keep moving these guys over here, get on the enemy flank, and just cause hell, cause havoc. In fact, Alabac, can you charge, son? Well, you're going to charge anyway, might as well. Move this guy up here. Revere. Is he related to Paul Revere? Is that possible? That would be interesting. So fire, Warren, fire. Again, we're focusing fire on the enemy artillery because the enemy artillery is very devastating in this battle. And I think we have now captured those supplies. I believe they belong to us now. And I look at that. Sure enough, the enemy wasn't as stupid as I thought. Wright is back here, and they've got more than a few men preparing for our flank attack. So you know what? I give them credit. I give them credit. Credit where credit is due. They're definitely not just going to let us walk right over Meryes Heights. That being said, it's almost exactly what we intend to do. So let's grab the rest of our men. Look at all those dead Federals. Man, it is a dark day for the Union no matter what. I mean, even if we win the battle, you know, that is just so many losses. It's such a Pyrrhic victory that it's almost not even worth it. Of course, as mentioned, I suppose, and some of you could disagree here, that this was a necessary battle. A necessary attempt, anyway, at a battle. So there we go, Kershaw. We are devastating Kershaw for once. He's the one on the defensive, or not so much on the defensive, but on the run. Let's put it that way. They've been on the defensive since the beginning of the battle. And we are going to move right there over to Meryes Heights, guys. And here we go. Wright is there. Tyler, I would have him attack, but quite frankly, we know that these guys are way too exhausted to get into any sort of melee combat. So we're just going to try to overload the enemy here with as much firepower as possible. I think I'm going to start targeting Wright with my cannons. Make sure Ward is firing at Wright too. Harlan firing at Wright as well. Lieutenant Colonel Harold Davies is wounded. We're going to have a lot of wounded and dead lieutenant colonels by the end of this battle. That much I can tell you. Got a few cannons over here. And Brigadier General Erasmus Tyler is also wounded. Come on, boys. All right, we're continuing forward, trying to get there to Meryes Heights, guys, in time. Some of these guys we can go ahead and just attack head on. Oh, no, not the supply wagon, though. So you stay... Damn it! You stay back. Stay back, supply wagon. So while they're quartermasters, because they freaking idiots. No, they're not so bad. So here we go. We're going to keep moving forward, and Wright is actually taking some serious hits here. I'd like to get Hall over here on Wright's far right flank. And let's go ahead and keep moving forward. We can see that Sully has taken some serious hits there in the center with the rear being flanked. And now we're going to keep moving forward with Andrew, Hall, and the rest of the Union Army to try and smash the Confederacy on their right. Now over here, we can see Meryes Heights is open to our advance. However, the Confederacy continues to have a huge artillery presence here, and that's not going to be easy to break. So we're going to go ahead and hit Cobb. We're going to try and break through here on his right flank. And if we can break through to Meryes Heights, I'm almost certain that the battle will continue. Unless it's that simple, unless all we need to do is take Meryes Heights from the enemy. I don't believe the Union even was able to do this during the actual Battle of Fredericksburg. But you guys can see that either way, the Confederacy still has plenty of men here, and they could certainly mount some sort of counterattack. So I'm going to try to get Butterfield and the rest of the men across the canal here as quickly as possible. Now it looks like Wright has noticed our flank, and probably should have been moving these guys forward a little bit faster, but I'm going to continue moving them forward, I should say, and we're going to take Nagel as well and push back here and basically just try to envelop all of this enemy artillery. I mean, one of the reasons that we were taking such serious hits, it wasn't just the fact that the enemy had incredible defenses behind those barriers, those stone walls. It was also the fact that their artillery presence was overwhelming, and they were just bombarding our men. That's why you see so many shell holes here, as well as a lot of dead Federal soldiers. So there we go. Kershaw's actually moving forward, trying to stop this advance in the front. And I think he should be on the stone wall. This gives us a little bit of a better advantage at hitting him. So we're going to keep firing and hope that we break through. Over here, it looks like Cobb is totally on the run, and that is a good sign, guys. We're getting to Meryes Heights very, very quickly. So we're going to keep pushing forward to the Meryes Heights position with all of our men. I think one reason here that we are doing all right, well, all things considered doing all right, is simply because of the fact that we just have overwhelming numbers here. Now, at the same time, at Fredericksburg, we are also attacking the entire Confederate army. So a loss for the Confederacy here at Fredericksburg would be pretty serious, that's for sure. So here we go. Andrews is moving forward. Now, this is one area where I might order a charge on Semmes. And the same with Zook. We're going to order a charge and try to close him in here. A pincer formation, as if you will. And Semmes is not going to like that. It looks like he's going to be taking some serious hits, and he is pulling back. Is Meryes Heights ours? Not yet, guys, but it's certainly being contested. Here we go, moving forward with the rest of the Federal Army. Grabbing Nagel, grabbing Stockton, and, of course, Ward. And just trying to do as much damage to this force as possible before they can reform. Looks like Ransom may even be trying to charge our men, which I think is absolutely crazy, but it is a desperate maneuver in a desperate situation. And there we go, guys. Meryes Heights is contested, but it's certainly under our control right now. This is the last time, well, the worst time, I should say, to stop the attack. I'm going to bring Couch forward, mostly for moral support. Let's go ahead. And there we go. Another Confederate cannon knocked out by our men. We just got to keep that going. This area is still contested. This is not a victory by any means yet. In fact, I'm going to be moving forward the rest of these men and the rest of these men back here. I believe that's Sherman. Should be bringing a... No, sorry, Stoneman. Should be bringing a tremendous amount of support here. And it looks like, wow, now the battle is definitely in our favor. We're starting to take these defensive positions, these defensive barriers that the Confederacy has erected. And right now our job is to make sure that they don't return to Meryes Heights. This area must remain under our control, and we cannot let it fall into the hands of the enemy. So here we go, guys. We've definitely accomplished what the Union Army could not accomplish during the actual Battle of Fredericksburg, managing to break through the enemy line, and now it looks like they're getting pretty desperate and are just trying to move their forces forward, but we now have the defensive ground. So I'm actually going to hold my ground here, if you can see. I'm just going to hold my lines. I'm going to do the same with Robinson over here, hold my lines, and move the rest of the army forward. We've got a number of generals here. Each one of these generals gives defensive bonuses or offensive bonuses one way or another. So we're going to go ahead and try and take advantage of that. Okay, some supplies on the way. Not that we really need them. I think our men are not for want of ammo, and quite frankly, in a battle like this, I think that it would probably be in a position where they could pick up ammo off the ground. So our army's already paid a heavy toll attacking those hills, but we can still claim victory. Meryes Heights could be captured if we attack decisively. Well, I thought we took Meryes Heights. And over here, what's this? Telegraph Road might be weakened now. If rebels reinforce their flanks, Prospect Hill objective is already decided, and the rest of our forces are holding up at this flank. Interesting. So I guess we not only have to take Meryes Heights, but we've got to capture the Telegraph Road. Now that gives us a totally different, I guess, objective here. And we might have some reinforcements coming in. Yeah, we certainly do. So we got a few guys that could attack Telegraph Road, Poe, and looks like Christ over here. Got some pontoon bridges on this side of the river as well. So I'm going to grab these guys, and I am also going to charge across this side of the river towards Telegraph Road. Take a look here. We can't stop focusing on this area either. We can't just ignore Meryes Heights. So let's keep moving. Stockton, move forward. Berry, move forward as well. And we're going to take Ward as well and try to just close this gap. Totally close this gap around the enemy, almost like a noose of sorts, so that they have no ability whatsoever to fight back. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that part 2 of the battle. I think you guys already know what's going to happen. I'm going to have to make you guys wait for part 3, especially since there was just so much devastation in this part. I think you guys got your fair share of action. So we will be returning with part 3 of the Battle of Fredericksburg very, very soon. The attack on Telegraph Road. Hope you guys don't forget to hit that like button, rate, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff, and have an awesome, awesome day.